All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about the heavyweights and specifically the rumor that Tyson Fury may be looking to fight Luis Ortiz after Andy Ruiz is no longer available for him. Let's talk about that in this video. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Before I get into the video though, please make sure to support the sponsor for the video, BUSR, at busr.ag/Fanon. Use the promotional code Fanon and you will definitely get benefits for using that code. Also helps to support the channel. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. It'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, so now we're going to get into the heavyweight division. And little birdie told me in my Instagram DM that there is conversations going on about the next fight for Tyson Fury that very well may include Luis King Kong Ortiz fighting Tyson Fury next. And let me tell you, if this is the case, I would be more than impressed with Tyson Fury for taking that, because I do believe that it is one of the more dangerous fights that he could possibly take. And one of the reasons why I've got to take that rumor as, you know, with a little bit of a grain of salt. But let's talk about it. You know, Tyson Fury is supposed to be fighting, or has a mandatory title defense that was ordered for him and Dilian Whyte out of the UK. But Dilian Whyte, for some crazy reason, has decided that he is going to sue the WBC for the right to get a mandatory fight that the WBC has already ordered. So for whatever reason, Dilian Whyte is stuck in an arbitration with Tyson Fury, and the WBC has allowed him to have a fight, to take a fight without the WBC belt on the line next. Now, another reason that there is a problem with the Tyson Fury versus Dilian Whyte fight is that the WBC has also clarified and said, as the mandatory, if Dilian Whyte fights Tyson Fury, that the purse split between the two is going to be 80% in favor of Tyson Fury, 20% to Dilian Whyte. So underneath that particular setup, you very well may not have a fight between Dilian Whyte and Tyson Fury at all for the WBC belt or without the WBC belt. But this weekend, Luis Ortiz became the won an IBF title eliminator with Charles Martin by a 6-round knockout. And Luis Ortiz was said that after the fight that he wanted to fight Tyson Fury, that Tyson Fury doesn't have anybody to fight right now, so he's stepping up the plate to do it. Bob Arum had previously said that they would be looking, if Tyson Fury was going to come to the United States and fight in the United States, that he would be looking for a fight with Andy Ruiz. But here's the issue with the Andy Ruiz and where I think that some of this stuff is coming from. Andy Ruiz is a PBC fighter right now, and you typically fights on PBC cards. And I do believe that he's advised by Al Heyman, but a fight date is expected to be announced for Andy Ruiz very soon. They said that he's going to be announcing his next fight date in the next week or so. So I do believe that he is going to be on that list, you know, that usually comes out in the January timeframe for the first half of the year for the fights that are taking place for the PBC. So it seems like maybe Al Heyman, you know, has something else for Andy Ruiz instead of the Tyson Fury fight, and might be looking to try to set up Tyson Fury with the Luis Ortiz fight. Now, for me, and this is something that Sean Porter said in the fight when he was covering the fight with Luis Ortiz. He called Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin. I do believe he called Luis Ortiz the second best heavyweight in the world. And that's why I am absolutely hoping that this rumor is true and that Tyson Fury is looking for the fight with Luis Ortiz. Now, I'm not sure, like, To me, it doesn't make sense that he would fight Luis Ortiz because Luis Ortiz is one of the best heavyweights in the world. And I think that Luis Ortiz has a very good shot at beating anybody in the heavyweight division that is not either Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. I believe, especially after watching the fight with Charles Martin, I think he beats Anthony Joshua. Still has a lot of pop left on his punch, but maybe it's the fact that Luis Ortiz maybe looked a little bit more vulnerable, having been knocked down by Charles Martin with a jab in that fight. So, maybe that would make Tyson Fury more open for the fight with Luis Ortiz, and because he sees that amount of vulnerability, that type of vulnerability in him. But if the fight is going to take place in the United States, Tyson Fury most definitely is going to need somebody that is a recognizable name and somebody that is, that has, some type of name recognition in the United States and could be taken even halfway seriously, in a fight with Tyson Fury. And I think that Luis Ortiz may fit that description. Because he gave two very good fights with Deontay Wilder. He wound up getting stopped, having stoppage losses to Deontay Wilder. But, that's a situation where Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder fought Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder's pay-per-view numbers did fairly, decently in the United States. He also was just on another pay-per-view of his own. I'd be very surprised to see if that really did terrifically, but it still may be a situation where, the PBC or Showtime, those guys might want to do some type of promotion like they did with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. With Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, I don't see really. They said, the other option could be for Tyson Fury to fight somebody over there in Saudi Arabia. I know he kind of hinted that, he's the Saudi Arabian king. So, maybe that could be a situation. But I'll tell you what I would really like to see. I would like to see Tyson Fury fight Luis Ortiz. I think that would be a very, very good fight. And I think that that's a fight that, I don't know, which way. I would obviously favor Tyson Fury in that fight, but Luis Ortiz would be a very, very live underdog. First of all, he's a southpaw, and that southpaw stance definitely gave Tyson Fury problems when he fought Otto Wallin in the southpaw stance. Also, if he was going to move on to fight Alexander Usyk, Alexander Usyk is a southpaw, so that could be a high-level fight, for him to fight a southpaw, so it could prepare him for the Alexander Usyk fight. I don't know, man. It's just all going to be really interesting to see how this stuff pans out. I think all of these guys at the top of the heavyweight division are beatable, though. Tyson Fury is beatable. Anthony Joshua is beatable. Alexander Usyk is beatable. I think all of these, I don't think any of these guys are really, like head and shoulders above everybody else to the point where nobody should be considered for the fight. And I definitely believe that the fight between Whyte, between Tyson Fury and Luis Ortiz would be a more competitive fight than the Dilian Whyte fight is, because even in this advanced stage for Luis Ortiz, I do believe he's still a better fighter than Dilian Whyte is. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. We'll see how it plays out. I wouldn't bet on my house on this thing, on it going this way, but it is what it is, and we'll see what happens. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.